The Here's something the Christian community needs to remember. When their leaders take a shit, okay? Here's David gets an opportunity to take and snuff out his enemy, which was King Saul, which I ascertain here to be the law. Okay, the law of the lands are becoming corrupt because the corrupt leaders are forming greedy laws to hurt people. So anyway, David cuts the bottom of his robe off in a cave, unawares to Saul. So it's a skirt, and that's cutting off the Christ. Okay, if you haven't ever figured that out before, I'm sure you have. But you cut off the Christ, that means that you have interrupted the Spirit of Christ, or compromised the value of leadership itself. So when David did that, it hurt his feelings. It made him feel bad because he realized what he had just done in compromising the respect that other people had for the laws of God. Okay? So this is a very great passage because it shows you that David let Saul go. Saul didn't even know he had done it to himself. But he actually did it to himself. He actually had taken a shit with his leadership, and the Spirit of Christ had departed from that. So have you ever heard of the letter of law or the spirit of the law? That's what we're talking about here, and that's why I love this is another reason I love the Bible so much, is the way it's written and the reveal of the lesson. So when he cut the skirt, he cut off Christ. So it doesn't sound like a very positive thing, but it's really a transfer of leadership. David calmed down his followers by lamenting over the fact that even though Saul was the chosen king, right? Saul was the chosen king, and the laws of God were supposed to be upheld by him, that the man himself, the king, shit the bed. So David was anointed and eventually became the king because he retained the respect of the law of the land, and he fortified the laws by his behavior, and he became Israel's greatest king. So the realities of this story is that the king of Israel, the greatest king of Israel, David, maintains the spirit of the letter of the law. And we all have enjoyed the Psalms, and the Psalms are beautiful poetry about the spirit contained within the law of God, which is love. So the value of knowing this, what is the value of knowing all that? Blah, 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 Dave. I just showed you that as I kick the kleptocrats' ass and I take over the rule, all right? And in the United States here, we're not kings, we are elected officials. What I'm showing you is that I'm going to respect the laws. I'm going to respect the Constitution. I'm going to respect the offices of leadership. But when the men are blatantly inviting criminals like Putin into our land to cut deals, and the oligarchs' money is used to manipulate markets, no. Those are going to be cut off. And what I mean by cut off is they are going to be divided from the leadership. So when you divide bad behavior from the leadership and show it to the people, they can identify it. So here's what I'm doing right now. Number one, kleptocracy. That's the people who practice. Number two, the crime. And the principle here is restore, rejuvenate with ethical project development. The people are going to love David. So the second coming of Christ and your King David, that's the coming and saving the whole earth, the prophecy, turns out it's you. It's the common law. It's when we uphold and respect ethics. So a man who brings that message to the people, he's going to lead. And so there you go. It's not quite an acceptance speech, but I'm showing you how I'm going to get there.